It's Jonathan here. It's Palmdale, like a couple days after my birthday, so it's not quite April yet. Yesterday, Dad and I took the gen set out of the RV. You can kind of see what's left in it. A bunch of garbage. That's all the insulation stuff falling down. Had some other stuff happen. Yesterday, I went to work on actuating our jacks on the RV. It's one of the last systems to get rocking and rolling. And a couple things happened. First, I was really pleased to find out that the RV jack system basically works. But there's a leak, and it appears they haven't been exercised in a while, so I was going to exercise them, break loose everything, maybe oil a couple things. And there's just a hydraulic leak that I'm going to show you guys in a second. And it's actually, I believe, a result of the fire damage, so we're going to take care of that at the same time. But here we are underneath looking at the muffler backfire damage. You can see it's not a pretty muffler. You'll see the hydraulic fluid that's kind of everywhere and the burn damage. So let me show you what we've figured out since then. This little burn damage right in here, there's actually the hydraulic lines that run the jacks. You can see way there in the back, that jack and that jack. So that jack, which is retracted on springs right now, every time I try to run it, we get hydraulic fluid in here. So that would be part of the damage from the fire, which isn't a big deal. Just got to get new hydraulic lines and run them. But right now I got to order a new muffler. So yeah, see if you can see some of the charred foam. That's really just the damage that we're talking about under here from the muffler heating up and toasting everything. So yay! Our Kohler 7,000 watt generator, which is out and on an engine stand that my dad made. The reason it's out is it's not running. We found a rag stuffed inside here. This coil reads bad with the ohm meter, and the fuel pump, which we took off, is toast. So that right there is probably maybe $350 worth of parts that you can't find anywhere except used on eBay. So we said, hey, well, for just a couple hundred more, we can get a new generator. So that's what we did. So this right here is the biggest generator that Harbor Freight makes. It's the 8750, 7,000 running watts of power, which would be a almost watt for watt replacement of the Kohler. However, there's a couple things about this that I'm going to tell you guys why this didn't work as a replacement. First of all, the Kohler has shrouds all over it. So when it runs at 7,000 watts, it's pushing all the heat from the engine down underneath. It also does a pretty good job of making sure that if there's any venting or any other kind of gassing off, any carbon monoxide, that would all be pushed down by the shrouding and the fans. This one, if you look at it, is all open, and there's a tiny bit of air circulation on it, but you would have heat buildup in the RV pretty quick. But we were okay with making a slide that pulls out so that when it ran, it would at least be a couple feet outside of the RV, and it just sit there and putt and power everything. But when I started looking at the electrical side, you'll see right here, it's got these electrical connectors. Both of those electrical connectors are fused at 28 amps. So it doesn't even get to the full 30 to power the ground socket, much less be able to run the AC and everything else. Even if I directly wired it into one of those outlets, I'm never going to get enough power to run everything like I would with the Kohler. So then that put us back to the drawing board, because for 28 amps, buying 8,000 watt generator is stupid. So we went back and looked, and actually we can get by with their 4,000 peak watt generator. It has a 4-pin connector that I can put an adapter on, and it's an unfused connection, so the best it can run with the generator going absolutely crazy is 26 amps. Now, when I add everything up, I would literally have to start an air conditioning unit, have the charger running at a full 70 amps, which I've never yet seen it actually output that much power. Basically, I'd have to turn everything on inside that I can turn on ground power, and that would finally overwhelm that generator. So we're kind of going that route. It's about half as much money. It's 100 pounds. I can pick it up, and that means that we can change the generator container into a more multi-use platform. So I'm going to show you guys that next. If we were trying to get that 8,000 watt monster in there, I was going to have to cut here and here and cut out all of this frame and then drop it down about 3 inches and put it back in across, and then have some kind of sliding mechanism there. That would be okay, except we want to get out of here in a few days, and like I said, even if we did all that, we wouldn't be able to actually hook everything up to the generator. We'd just be basically running off of ground power, which ground power means you can only use one air conditioner and a few other things at the same time because it's a 30 amp circuit. We couldn't directly wire it all in like we thought we were going to with this and everything else. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to build a little skid plate with a slide still on it, and we're going to put that generator over here, and maybe over here I will have room left for a couple of batteries. I don't know, but it doesn't matter because that generator is smaller. It's only 100 pounds. I can pick it up. We can do stuff with it. And we can run directly on the ground power. We'll hook up to it through an adapter, and we'll still be able to get about 26 amps out of it. So that's significantly better than what we're on right now with the ground. But it's also significantly worse than the Kohler power. But the good news is this gas line is good and is connected. I bought a 12 volt pump, so we'll have the ability to flip a switch in here when I mount it up here, and we'll be able to fill up the generator and then start it. Of course, we won't be able to, it wouldn't be wise to start or to fill it while it's hot, but the generator that we're buying has about a 10-hour run time, so I think we'll be okay since it should only take a couple hours to charge the batteries. So that's where we're at, and that's what we're doing right now.